Let me show you these charts here. Boy, this is really interesting. The first one I'd like to show you is the trajectory in terms of the exits from the LBMA. This is where the silver comes from for you and I to be able to buy it. And look at the trajectory, it's going down. Now, very interesting. Take a look at the next chart here. The next chart is showing the tight trading band by which the silver is being traded. Now, if you go ahead and take a look out to the left, do you ever see a tight trading band like that? No. There's no reserves. There's nothing there. When this is gone, it's gone, folks. And as of January, the end of January 2025, London vaults held 23,523 tons of silver valued at $23.9 billion, representing a decrease of 8.6%. From the contrast between Republicans and Democrats last night could be summed up in these two photos. Wow. One looks like a picture from the Great Depression, huh? Yeah. And Democrats are ashamed. What are they ashamed of? Let's find out.
I'm mad about this woman. You stand up for women's rights and you're not mad? You're not angry? You sit your ass down and you sit there because you're so pissed off at Trump?
How do you justify them not standing or applauding for any of the topics or things that he stood for?
Because Donald Trump and the Republicans in Congress have a plan.
They would come to the black church and sing some Negro spirituals with us and then disappear.
3 American children were being honored last night and you sat down.
I found the speech to be vengeful, revengeful.
Democrats exposed themselves as the party of insanity and hate.
Democrats behaved so poorly at the congressional address that throughout America, Democrats no longer want to be Democrats. Please make sure you're subscribed to my channel as we check out how ashamed they are of these Congress members. First of all, it's important that you know what they are so ashamed of, so let's let Caroline Levitt explain.
The behavior of Democrats last night was completely disgraceful and demonstrated how severely out of touch they are with the American public. It was the most shameful moment in the history of presidential addresses in that beautiful chamber. In what was supposed to be a unifying moment for our country, Democrat members of Congress instead screamed at the President of the United States, who was just overwhelmingly reelected by their constituents, walked out of the chamber, and worst of all, they disrespected the American people. Democrats didn't stand to keep men out of women's sports. They couldn't even clap for a girl who got her head smashed in by a man on a volleyball court. Democrats didn't stand for an innocent and beautiful child who is surviving brain cancer. They opposed eliminating taxes on tips and Social Security. They didn't stand in favor of cutting taxes for hardworking Americans. They couldn't even clap for 2 mothers whose daughters were killed by illegal aliens. One of the only things that could get Democrats off their feet last night was cheering for Ukraine, not for America. Last night was a very clarifying moment for our country. Democrats exposed themselves as the party of insanity and hate. The party that wants to put America last. They've allowed their Trump derangement syndrome to stop them from celebrating America and our people. And we will not allow them to forget that. And it's not just the Democrat Party. The mainstream media still doesn't get it. Last night, MSNBC's Nicole Wallace disgustingly looped in a 13-year-old boy with brain cancer into an attack on the president over January 6th. And CNN's first chyron out of the speech called it divisive. President Trump wasn't divisive. The Democrats were. And CNN was proven wrong by their own viewers, 69% of whom, in a post-speech poll, said they had a positive reaction to the president's speech.
Wow.
It's sad and frankly pathetic that Democrats and liberals in the legacy media continue to allow their hatred for the president to override their love for our country. But nevertheless, the president will continue to unify this nation through policies that are grounded in common sense and that uplift all Americans.
I had a nice conversation with a guy who was a cryptocurrency guy, really into crypto. I mean, nothing could stop him. I said, they told me, Ted, you'll never have a chance talking to this guy about crypto. I said, well, let's give it a shot. So and as soon as we started the conversation, well, first of all, I asked him, I said, so this cryptocurrency is created with computer programs, right? Yeah. He said, yeah. So who owns the source code and where is the source code? And whoever develops this, do you think they might have included a back door? And might there be some kind of a backdoor code or whatever they could get in? That's number one. Number two, is there an intrinsic value to cryptocurrencies? And dead silence. He said, what do you mean by intrinsic value? I said, well, value that comes with the product or the coin or whatever. Is there any value? Is there something that's there that somebody has stored purchasing power in? The answer is no. So I was thinking, let's take a look at Bitcoin. Originally, Bitcoin was called baby trafficking coin, BTC, Bitcoin. And they said there are only 21 million of these things being issued. And he's listening to me at this point. I said, so if you bought a Bitcoin, you own any Bitcoin? He said, yeah. I said, if you own a Bitcoin, which one of the 21 million do you own? Dead silence. These are the ways that you enlighten people that are holding cryptocurrencies. Some even a pessimist. With that in mind, you understand the weight of what I'm about to say. I believe we're on the brink of uncovering a dark legacy in this country that has been hidden for far too long. This is Baron Trump's text here. If you're struggling to grasp how your ex-government could do such things, my advice would be either brace yourself or go hide until someone saves you. I truly think the dam is breaking, and regardless of how it unfolds, real change is coming. Those at the federal and state level should be preparing to lose sleep. It's about to go mainstream. And you'll know him. You will know him. Listen to this one.